Hey yo, what's up, gamers? Welcome back to another replay analysis. My name is Marco. I'm a professional Rocket League player. Been playing since 2015. I'm here with the one and only Max, professional Rocket League coach. Max, introduce yourself.
Hello, guys. My name is Max. I believe I have some technical issues on my end. If you'll allow me just one moment, I'll be able to speak to you in the
Ah,
flesh beautifully. Hi, guys. So good to be here. After my long storied career playing in RLCS and then seeing where the scene moved, I really thought my perspective was gonna re-gear the industry, if you will. That's one for the fans, and I'm
ah.
excited to see what plays are gonna come up today.
Okay. I love the chest hair, by the way, Max.
Oh, thank
Tell me,
you.
why do you love Rocket League as a game? While I just boot up this replay here, tell me
I
more.
mean, it's as a famous man once said, this is Rocket League. It's really those moments that really words maybe can't even describe, but like that just feel like Rocket League when it's got to do with fast flying, lots of flip resets, and finding that angle that nobody thought possible. Whether that's a pinch or a long aerial combo, it's these moments that we feel that Rocket League is the most exceptional game on the market right now, and that make us proud to be Rocket League racists.
Rocket League racist.
Racers, race car drivers.
I love being a racist, a racer, going fast.
Right.
All right, we've got our first replay set up here. Now, the goal today, Max, is to take a look a bit at the team, the Baapknallers. It's a team founded in 2019, and we have the Ancient Cookie, a man based in Amsterdam, and Lil Stunner, another man based in Amsterdam.
Oh yeah, they're
Um,
based all right.
just to start off with, what do you think about these usernames, Max?
I think it speaks of lot of confidence to call yourself Little Stunner. It's a bit playful, but also emphasizing that you know what you got. I think that radiates a lot of aura. The Ancient Cookie, very different approach. Some whimsicality there taken with the cookie in there. More associated with maybe kids and little babies. But then Ancient is the polar opposite of that. So it's a bit of a crazy dichotomy. It really speaks to the imagination.
Yeah. All right. Without much further ado, let's jump in here. We're gonna take a little angle up high here. Let's see what Marco does right and what David does wrong here. Start off with kickoff, typical Marco David kickoff. Now what we see here, look what's going on here. Okay, we have a let's go back. Okay, so this is a typical Marco David kickoff, right? We have Marco going to the right side, the part where David is starting the diagonal kickoff. David trying to engage on the left side of the ball, so the ball ends up into the top right corner here. But let's see what Marco does right away at this kickoff, because I don't like what I'm seeing.
Marco misses the boost right there, and then doesn't really
Ooh,
get much purchase on that ball that went
yeah.
his way after David admittedly didn't hit that kickoff quite right.
Let's take another view at what just happened, so we can maybe see what's going on here.
Right, right.
Actually gets the boost. Oh, but what is that? Now, what we would like to see here from Marco is a little, we can instead of going here, grabbing the boost, and then trying to go for this ball in the air, he could drive up the wall to ensure that he'll get the first touch. But okay, let's see how they react to this.
They're very grossly out of position. It's going to be very hard to save that. And Lil Stunner making a very good effort, finding the right corner of the goal, but not arriving there quite in time, as there's a very nice shot made by the orange team here.
All right. David with the pressure, but doesn't manage to get that ball over the enemy. Luckily, he whiffs, so they're able to defend from this. But it's not looking great. 1-0 behind, and not a lot of pressure going on here.
Let's see this ball move to the other side, and there's a daring attempt at the ball made by the Ancient Cookie, but quickly turned around by the orange team. We're finding ourselves on the awkward side of the pitch with a nice little bounce off the wall. Marco is making some space here. Little Stunner kind of looking for a risky off the wall boost hit, not really getting it. Marco lining up a nice shot, but giving entirely too much time to the orange team to reform.
Let's see what they're able to do here. This is a situation that this team gets in very often, where they have good pressure on the ball. They have a clear boost advantage here, but will they be able to maintain this pressure? And we see right away already this is a typical David's whiff. If we let's just look at this a little bit more in depth. All right, I'm gonna pull up something to the side here. Give me one moment. Alt F1. Yeah, there we go.
Are you using the shadow? All right, as we were seeing, this is indeed a classic David whiff.
So,
can you show us where that whiff is happening, Marco?
Yes, just give me 1 moment to fix it. I can draw on the screen. Yes,
What are you? Why aren't you using? Why aren't you just Windows Shift S to screenshot and then draw on that? Because it's like by default.
So what we really want to be seeing here is that David will go up and actually hit that ball, right?
Right.
Now what's going on is instead of hitting that ball, he's actually not hitting the ball here, and he's going into the goal, and I'll probably go back out, right? And so what's happening is that ball is it's not getting that elevation that you want. It's not going up here. See? It's not going in that direction.
And we can see this is a bit of a weak spot. It's a very sensitive topic. It's
a sensitive topic. You want it to get like maybe hit the backboard here somewhere, maybe roll up a little bit, and or maybe it can go any other direction here. But really, it's just not what you want to see. Now let's go back to the replay and see what's going on here. And instantly Marco is left with a 2-on-1 situation, and we see Lil Stunner here embarrassingly walking away from his whip. Of course Marco manages to defend the shot, but it's not optimal.
And we're seeing increased aggression from the Ancient Cookie back towards the goal. He doesn't leave a moment for his teammate to reposition because he's switching so much faster. It really seems like David is lacking behind in all these plays where Marco seems to be determining the pace. But then when it comes time for Marco to really put a cap on whatever strategy he's cooking, he's also not really managing. He does need that teammate out there. He's not a one-man army. So perhaps a little bit of more alignment in their pace would be advised, but here it does seem that the Ancient Cookie does it all by himself. It is impressive to look at.
He worked out. A nice little fake going on here. They do a classic strategy again. The ball doesn't end up in the back corner though. It goes to the opposing end corner. Oh, and this is painful. This is classic. Both players failing to properly. Where the fuck do to properly shadow play here. Both players engaging directly without actually shadowing the ball. If I can just manage to get this, there we go. Right, so what we see here, instead of Marco going back here, driving along with the opponent here and waiting for a good moment to engage, he completely whiffs and ends up going straight
into the goal. It seems kind of feels like that little spot that was warmed by David earlier has his name written all over it this time, and it's not a good look for the blue team right there.
It's true, and you think David might learn that this is a beautiful shot here. You think he might learn from what just happened, but he decides to do the exact same, and from there on it's just an easy goal for Fizz over here.
Tough to look at. But all to play for. 3 minutes left on the clock. It's been a pretty tight exchange here and there. Lots of shots being made. There's not too much dribbling. There's mostly a lot of shooting across the pitch. And some of those shots do find purchase, and we do want to see that from the blue team this time around. But this is exactly where they falter. They're not really in tune. They're jumping at different times and not really putting the pressure at the same moment, allowing the orange team to dictate too much of the pace here.
Alright, and after some drifting around, they managed to get a goal here. But we see exactly what we've seen before. It's actually interesting now that we're looking at this from this point of view. We can really see what's going wrong. We see way too aggressive gameplay where there's really no need for it here. And he's gone. You see, this is just it's unnecessary.
Yeah, sometimes the Ancient Cookie seems to be more concerned with hugging his opponents, being aggressive and annoying, than actually creating opportunities. But then he turns around, and then suddenly it all seems right. So maybe the aggression wasn't that big of a problem after all.
Alright. 2-2, they managed to equalize. What will they be able to do?
I'm very excited to see what David's got left in him for this match, because so far we've seen the Ancient Cookie make some big blunders but then make up for them with risky plays that pay off, and I'm really hoping Lil Stunner puts some of those precision hits that we know he has in him to his use.
I think so too. I wanna ask you, what do you think? What do you think of this play right here? Okay, so I'm back here. I have sorry, Marco's back here. He has the boost. Lil Stunner is rotating back from his kickoff, and Marco is in full possession here. And let's see what he does. What do you think of this? What do you think of what just happened here? I want to hear what's your take on what just happened.
I mean, it seems like a needlessly risky shot far off into the field, whereas he could be looking for his teammate that is trying to find a position around the field. I highly doubt that this is going to pay off in much. Really, it seems that he's just surrendering his possession.
Yeah, and these types of shots are great when you're able to send them off into the backboard, and your teammates they're waiting for it. Or maybe if the enemies don't have any, the opponents don't have any boost left. But it seems like this is a free shot to Fizz here, who can just retake possession and dictate the game from here.
Luckily, he is noticing what's happening and quickly going after, not allowing them to get a very good shot. And Lil Stunner, very faithfully in the back there, nearly gets a goal, and we're thinking this is it. Ancient Cookie is going to ram it in this wide open goal, but still, Orange team is not asleep at the wheel. They are looking for these saves, and we see that this match they've had many impressive saves already, and this is just another one to add to the list.
So what I'm seeing here, which is interesting, is some completely unnecessary rotation from Marco all the way to the back boost, and this creates such a distance between the two teammates here. Lil Stunner able to capitalize on this movement going forward, but Ancient Cookie's just not there, and when he finally does arrive and gets an open net, he shoots it directly to the opponent. He'll have to spend some more time in the training grounds, it seems.
Really tough to see him waste time when he's clearly got such good shots in him, you know. If he's positioning a bit more cautiously and with his teammate in mind, I think he can shine even way more. He has a lot of potential that he's wasting in these moments.
That's true.
I have to say, Lil Stunner always faithfully right behind him on the rotation. Doesn't seem to rotate back as far, but then the shots are also missing from his gameplay in this particular match a bit more.
Interesting pass back, but it's not exactly what Lil Stunner was expecting. Marco manages to clean it up nicely here, though.
Lil Stunner back at the ball, trying to get it past Fizz, but gets outmaneuvered. Very clumsy jump by Ancient Cookie, just leaving Fizz a wide open goal. Ankles broken.
I was almost about to give him a compliment here for trying to shadow this ball when he knew it was a one-on-one. But you gotta hit those balls, you know. Maybe we should take a look here at where he should have hit the ball. He should have. Let's take a look. A little in-depth analysis, right?
Yeah.
Just gonna do my technological magic. All right. Do you wanna explain what's happening on the screen here, Max?
So we've seen Ancient Cookie turn around very correctly, trying to find that little perfect like small area in which you can feed in the line between the goal and where the ball's going. But he's really failing to get the exact angle that he needs.
Yeah, exactly. So what you want to see here is you want to see direct contact on the ball, right? We like touching balls. We want this little car to touch the ball, you know. Yeah, I like we like balls. Balls. Uh,
Big ball.
Rocket League balls. Yeah, I like hitting them.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah,
In the goal, preferably.
yeah, or
Or
just
in the enemy's goal, then. Right.
I just like touching them.
It feels good.
It feels good.
Feels good to get a lot of possession, you know? I have a friend who's doing 10 years for possession, actually.
That sounds. Um, Moving on here. So we are 3-2 behind.
Tough to see.
Let's see how they deal with that pressure.
Big kickoff coming out, but really, again, David, we're used to better work from you on those kickoffs. Luckily, Marco is able to convert it into some pressure. Little Stunner closely behind, but doesn't manage to contest Fizz as he makes another accurate shot on the blue goal. We are in a dire situation now. It's 2-4, and we don't know if these boys can return on form.
Oh, and what do we see here, Max? What do we call this in Rocket League? Hold on 1 second. Let me get to the right moment. You being RLCS Grandmaster champion, what do we call this when two people go for the ball at the same time?
DP?
Double penetration. Exactly. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. And yeah, it's a shame. It's a classic. Don't do it. Make sure one of these players is going for the ball here, so that if they whiff, preferably not, we'll be able to follow up. And I really do not understand why David decided to go for this ball here. Okay, so what we see here is
Well, initially David was a lot closer, I have to say. It was really more his area of the field, even though he might have been down on boost. I don't know if these boys have any good comms going, but if Marco wants possession of that ball, it definitely needs a bit of a call out so that David is aware that he's coming his way with some fresh boost.
You're actually correct, because what I was seeing here was I was seeing this frame where it very clearly sees like David is able to see the Ancient Cookie in his view going for this ball, but we see the 5 seconds before this, really, you're completely correct. David is way closer to the ball, and Marco really just needs to tell him what's going on here. Yeah, and it's a shame. And the enemy, the opponent is able to take this.
We've seen the aftermath, and it brings us to only 1 minute and 12 seconds left on the clock with a 2-point deficit. Well, greater comebacks have been made, but it is a tough situation to be in.
Not the best 50-50 here. Let's see if Marco is able. Well, where was Marco in this play? It was not the best 50-50 from David, but really, where did he go? Oh, oh no! Let's see that back in replay. Maybe we can make it go slower.
Ooh la la.
We cannot make it go slower. But we will look at that again. Ooh, maybe from an angle up here so we can see really how he missed this boost. Oh yeah. That's not pretty, is it, guys?
And unable to live with this missing of the boost, he goes back again, and by the time he even looks at his own goal, there's already a ball in it. It's quite embarrassing.
60 seconds left on the clock.
Ooh, good save there from Marco. It's a pretty horrible kickoff from David, but he managed to save it there.
Seeing some little passing around, slowly moving towards the right side of the ball, the field rather, but David trying to shake things up and really gain the momentum back and doing a very risky plays here, but going for an insane back-to-back save and instantly converting it to the other side. So let's see if we can get a little bit of jump off the side, and Marco's ready to put it in the ringer. Right now it's a lot of flying and a very few shots actually hitting the direction of the goal.
Ooh, with an open net here, and they bring it back to 5-3. But yeah, what we see here is it's 15 seconds left on the clock. It's just not enough time to come back. And what we really want to be seeing here in a situation like this, where there's so little left on the clock, we want to see some more risky play, right? We have a very typical one-person kickoff, the other one going for a cheat, where they creep up to the ball, hoping to take possession after the kickoff. Which is not a bad, it's a viable strategy, but it's not that high risk, high reward type of gameplay we want to see when we have 2 goals left for 15 seconds.
I fully agree. A cheat is a bit of a slower play, and we're looking for high flying action right now to allow them to extend it into overtime.
Yeah. And game is over.
Tough to see. These boys have so much potential, but they really need to work on their rotations and their
Exactly.
communication.
So, if we can summarize this game, what would be your first, main points that you want to point out?
I think number one, Orange team just came with all their wits about them. They let a few fly through, but mostly they were rotating off each other very quick and converted very quickly into this aggressive playing team that is David and Marco. They really know how to get to the ball to the enemy side, but then converting into goals and rotating back whenever they face opposition is something they clearly are struggling to do, and the Orange team knew how to capitalize off this. Especially Marco seems to be flying straight in the wrong direction every once in a while, going for risky plays when he really doesn't need to be when he has the possession, whereas David has seemed quite passive lately, not going for the shots himself, being very diligent, much more diligent in his rotations than Marco, but then also lacking in explosive power when it comes to scoring the points.
Okay, and if you can summarize that in 2 words for me now, Max.
Balls.
Balls.
Right.
S or Z?
Whatever your heart feels at this moment, Marco. What is Rocket League?
It's balls.
Hell yeah.
Okay, balls.
And then number 2 for me, it's the hard work, the long hours. It's sweat.
Sweat. Sweat. And so what I want to add on top of that.
Oh, please give us your perspective, Marco. I mean, you've been made way more hours than me. You've been on the field. You know what it feels like. What do you think these boys are going through in a match like that?
I know what it feels like. I can see a lot of frustration from Marco in this game, or at least that's what I can tell through his gameplay, because he's really just out there trying his best, and it seems like David is just he's just giving up too quickly, or going for balls that he really shouldn't for. So what I would like to add as a final conclusion here is. They need to learn to work together. They need to combine what it is being in a team of 2. We're not playing 2 1v1s on this field. We're playing a 2v2, a team of 2 against a team of 2, right? So we see some miscommunication from Marco's side. We see a lot of double commits. We see over commits, or I don't know how you want to call it, too intense commits. To the ball, which leaves a 2v1 situation. So what I really want to add here is 2, right? Because we're 2 of us, right?
Right.
So I think
Hypothetically, when you're in the game and you're playing 2v2, you're 2 of you. Yeah.
exactly. And now, so if we can summarize all of this into one statement, I think we both know what's going on here, right?
Of course. It's obvious.
We want 2 sweaty balls.
2 sweaty
2
balls.
sweaty balls. Sweaty balls. Shall I save this to you and send it to you in a PDF?
As is customary, yeah, please.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Let me just get your beautiful face on the screen here once again. Max, any final words you want to tell the crowd?
Just as my final words, I want to say these boys have a lot of potential, even though they're getting very, very old. They've shown a lot of gusto when it comes to this game, and I know there's 16-year-old Zoomers flying into Grand Champion these days who are better than these guys before they can actually read a whole book. But I think they should not let that get them down and really keep aiming higher and higher as they improve themselves and actually learn how to play the fucking game.
Thank you, Max. Wise words. Gamers at home, whether you're watching this in your bedroom or at your grandma's place, stay sexy, stay gaming, and most of all, Max,
Two sweaty balls.
two sweaty balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.